Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're creating a psychological case study, a profile of a man's absolutely terrifying spiral into madness. And we're pulling all our evidence straight from H.P. Lovecraft's super chilling story, The Rats in the Walls. So let's just start at the end, shall we? These are the words of our subject, a patient locked away in a psychiatric hospital. And right away, it makes you ask one simple question. How on earth did a man of wealth, a man of reason, end up here? Okay, so to really get the breakdown, we have to start with a baseline, right? We need to understand the man before his mind just shattered. Who was Delapore? So our guy is this American industrialist. His family actually fled England centuries ago under some pretty dark circumstances. His whole life has been shaped by that classic American experience. You know, the Civil War, building an industry, becoming what Lovecraft calls a stolid Yankee. But then his whole world is just shattered by a very modern tragedy, World War I. It takes his only son, and suddenly he's this man completely adrift, totally aimless. And this is what makes his whole situation so fascinating. I mean, Delapore is the very picture of a modern, rational guy. He's a retired manufacturer who believes in cold, hard facts, not old folk tales. He is psychologically completely unprepared for the kind of hereditary horror that's just lurking in his own bloodline, and he thinks he can face it all down with nothing but logic and reason. You can kind of see where this is going, right? His first real step into the abyss. Well, it starts with a choice he makes himself. And on the surface, it seems totally reasonable. He's going to rebuild Exham Priory, his ancestral home. A home he knows is just wrapped up in these dark, nasty rumors. I mean, just look at his reasons for doing this. This isn't the stuff of a madman, not yet anyway. This is the rational thinking of a grieving father, a proud man of science just looking for a project. He wants to tame his past, civilize it. He wants to prove that a modern Delapore, or Delapore as he starts calling himself again, doesn't have to be a monster. But what is he actually up against? It's not just one scary story. We're talking about a whole tapestry of horror, woven over centuries, hinting at things that just defy belief. This is the psychological environment he is choosing to walk right into. And his reaction to all this? Oh, it tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. He hears these legends and just brushes them off with this intellectual arrogance of a modern man. To him, it's all just superstition, not a warning. He genuinely believes he's immune, that his rational mind is like a shield against the, crude fears of the past. So, he moves into the restored priory. And almost immediately, the first cracks in that rational worldview start to show. The symptoms begin to manifest. The first sign that something is wrong doesn't even come from him. It comes from his cats. His beloved black cat and all the others, they start getting really agitated. It's like they represent this primal instinct, this sense that something is deeply, deeply wrong, an instinct that Delapore himself has pushed down for years. So he sees his cats acting this way, and true to form, what does he do? He immediately tries to explain it away. He comes up with theories, maybe a weird smell from the old stone, maybe just some field mice. He is desperately clinging to any logical explanation as the impossible starts creeping in. But then the real horror starts. This is the first major psychological symptom. He starts hearing it himself, this frantic scurrying of rats. But here's the kicker. The servants hear nothing. The sounds exist only for him and the cats, inside walls that have been sealed shut for 300 years. This is that moment where he has to start questioning his own sanity. And at the exact same time, his subconscious just erupts. His sleep is plagued by this hideous, recurring nightmare. It's this vision he can't understand, but it fills him with this deep, profound sense of loathing. What he doesn't know yet, what he can't possibly know, is that this dream, it isn't a fantasy. It's a memory, a deeply repressed ancestral memory. So that rational, scientific part of him kicks in. He has to investigate. And this leads him and his friend, Captain Norris, down into the sub-cellar. And it's here that his psychological state goes from just having symptoms to full-blown trauma, because he's about to uncover the truth. And they find this terrifying detail. The passage they discover wasn't dug down into some secret place. It was chiseled up, from below, from something that wanted to get out. or maybe to bring others in. The horror wasn't just buried, it was active. This discovery just completely shatters reality. Beneath his home is a whole subterranean world, a secret city where his family's cult did its work for millennia. And the truly terrifying part? The evidence of human devolution, of people being bred down into a primitive, four-legged state. And then it all clicks into place. This is the foundation of his family's legacy. Not just murder, but a systematic, almost industrial-scale cannibalistic farm. This secret is so monstrous that it's not just something he's learned, it's something he has inherited in his very blood. This revelation, this is the final trigger. It's not just some historical fact he can process and file away. For Delapore, it's a psychological and even biological activation of a dormant part of his own mind. And this is the moment of total psychic collapse. The knowledge of his ancestry doesn't just horrify him, it awakens the horror inside him. The modern, rational man is completely overwritten, just deleted by the ancient, savage one. He literally becomes the demon swineherd from his own nightmares. And as his mind fractures, even his language reverts back. He loses modern English, he starts babbling in this collage of his ancestors' tongues. Latin, Gaelic, Old English, he is literally speaking with the voice of his bloodline. And that is the core of his diagnosis, right there. For Delapore, the past is not some foreign country. It's right here, inside him. The latent cruelty of his ancestors that was suppressed for generations in America just erupts with volcanic force. It's a terrifying answer in that whole nature versus nurture debate, where nurture gets completely and utterly devoured by a monstrous nature. And in his madness, this horrifying new logic starts to emerge. His rational mind shatters into this collage of grief for his son, rage at the world, and this awful newfound hunger that's been awakened. He starts to identify with the rats, the consumers of the dead. 3 hours. Just think about that. For 3 hours, he is lost to the darkness, lost to his own ancestry. When the search party finally finds him, he's crouching over the half-eaten body of his friend, Captain Norris. The final, horrific act of his transformation is complete. So, Delapore's case leaves us with this one final chilling thought. Was his madness caused by something from the outside? The literal rats in the walls of his home? Or was the real horror already inside him all along? The rats in the walls of his own mind, just waiting for the right key to unlock the door.